Good morning, guys. I am back home after doing my Ragbrai experience, and I thought I'd just do a little summary of my experience. So I have a little notepad, little notes on here so I don't forget anything. So what is Ragbrai? Ragbrai is the Register's annual freight bike ride across Iowa. And so literally you start on the West Coast and you end in the East Coast, and you do it all by bicycle. And so it was something that I had thought about. I had seen it on TV for a while. And so then I decided, let's try it. So I did. So getting to Iowa. So I took my little Solus Pocket, my little RV. Some will call it a van. I call it an RV because you can sleep in it, you can cook in it, and there's a toilet in there. So technically, I call it an RV. So I took my little RV, and I gotta say, it was one of the easiest drives I've done. And I drive a lot. I just drive a lot. I enjoy driving, so why not do it, right? So I took my RV, and it made the drive up really easy. I stayed at Love's uh, truck stops, and they have great food in there, and you know, you can get a coffee, and there's a nice bathroom in there. Again, I've got a bathroom in here, but it just made it easy. So from getting there to getting home, my RV was perfect. And that's kind of why I got this, so that I can enjoy the road and everything out there. Um, and just, you know, traveling through all the states and just enjoying the drive up. It was a great drive up. Now, as far as Iowa, Iowans, thank you. You guys made this trip so incredibly special. I mean, literally, from the moment I got there to the moment I left, I don't think I saw a single person not smiling. Everybody was just terrific. So thank you, Iowans. You always had something to offer. You had special treats out there, just everything that you offered, you made it special. The way you welcomed us into town when we were so tired, you welcomed us into town. And I thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you. So my outfit, I have my outfit on today. In case you didn't know, this was my husband's football number. He wore number 62. He played for the Steelers for 13 years. Then he played for Green Bay 1, and then he announced for 24 years. And a few years ago, he passed away. And I got to tell you, there's not a day that I don't miss him. I miss him so very much. So I took him with me. He was with me on this entire ride. People would say, go 62 and things like that. So that just made this trip even more special. The fact that they recognized the number. They didn't recognize my husband, but they recognized number 62. Some people thought I was representing Iowa football because obviously their colors are very similar to the Steelers, but no, this was for the Pittsburgh Steelers. So I have it on today, and I just thought I'd celebrate him one last time, having just finished my Ragbrai. So about the ride, the hills. A lot of people think that Iowa is flat. It is not. They put us on the northern tier, and that one is a little flatter, but still there were rolling hills, just rolling hills. Then when you add the headwinds to that, it made it a little more challenging, I'll say. So yes, there are hills. Corn and soybeans. There would be corn on the left, soybeans on the right, corn on the right, soybeans on the left, for miles. That's all you could see. And it was beautiful. It was absolutely beautiful. The farmland that they had up there were feeding troughs out there, just a little bit of everything. So when you go up to Iowa, you're going to see the heart of our country. And I just thought it was terrific. And again, I got corn as often as I could. It was delicious. And it was a really good time with that. The police. The police were out in number. I've never seen that many police out there. And I thank you. You were at all the major intersections. On occasions, you would stop us, but they had the traffic stopped. We could keep going. They really just kept everything very, very organized, and I greatly appreciate that. So to the police, you were terrific. There was one guy the first day on Sunday, he had gospel music playing. And I just thought that was just such a great way to get Ragbrai started. And again, the police were so nice. I would thank them all the time. They would thank back, and they were terrific. Mr. Porkchop. I have seen Ragbrai on YouTube for a very, very long time. And the one thing they always show on there is Mr. Porkchop. He's got his pink bus. You could write your name on the bus and you get that pork chop. And that pork chop was big. But I got to tell you, it was delicious. So supposedly they cook it over corn, and it just adds a flavor to it like you wouldn't believe. They had different mixes, different barbecue sauce, everything you could put on it. I ate it straight, and I got to tell you, it was delicious. It was absolutely delicious. The pie. The churches all had pie out. Every town you'd go through, there would be pie, and it was delicious. So thank you all who made all of those pies, and it was all homemade, and so that made it even more special. I tried rhubarb, and I liked it. I actually liked it. It tasted like sour apple to me, is what it tasted like to me, and it was delicious. And then I got my triple berry, which was equally good. So again, thank you for making all of those pies out there. Ice cream. Beekman's and their ice cream, it was delicious. And they had the two-stroke engine, and so that's how they make the ice cream. And to see them do it, and then you get it fresh in the cup, it was just delicious. So again, thank you for making that ice cream. Minnesota. I didn't expect I'd go up to Minnesota. I don't know why, but there we were. Second day, we were in Minnesota. And so I thought that was kind of cool that you left Iowa, you went to Minnesota for a little while, and then you came back to Iowa. So that was very cool to experience that. Again, headwinds. That was one things I struggled with a little bit. Now I've got an electric bike, and I'm very happy I had that with those headwinds, because those headwinds were pretty strong, and they beat you up after a while. You just get this headwind in your face the whole time, this headwind. And so I got through it, but especially I think it was Wednesday. That was a pretty struggle in pumping against that headwind. Then all of a sudden you turn and you get a crosswind. And I didn't mind the crosswind because I could push into that, but every now and then you'd have to really watch your bike because there were some strong ones coming through, and you had to really mind yourself on that. So again, the headwinds, if anybody's never done headwinds before, get ready for it. I always thought it would be a tailwind because we were headed east, but it wasn't this week. It was all headwinds. So be prepared for that. Campsites. I truly enjoyed campsites. Now, I've got a tent. I've got everything because I'm preparing to hike at some point. But I'd never slept in a tent before. So when I set up my tent that first night, that was my first time sleeping in one. I didn't mind it at all. My tent was really small. I mean, it was a small tent. But I didn't mind that because I just slept in there. I kept my bag in there, and I just slept in there. But I will say the rain and the lightning storms, that had me very, very, very nervous. I'm laying in my tent. I'm just laying there, and my tent was yellow with a white cover on it. So I could see out. I couldn't see people. But when that lightning came, and that was lightning right over the top of my tent, man, that was scary. In fact, I prayed to the Lord that night. I said, Lord, if this is how you're taking me, thank you. Thank you for this life. It was scary. Those lightning storms were quite scary. And I had them 3 nights out of my 7 nights. I had them 3 times. And again, they weren't small. It was like lightning was right over your head, and the thunder that came through. It was an experience. So be prepared for that. A $2 bill. I haven't seen a $2 bill in probably 30 years. Well, that, I guess, is a thing in Iowa, that you get $2 bills up there. So I thought that was kind of cool that, they had $2 bills up there. in my campsite, they had free beer. And I did partake in it. I did partake. I always got the lager. I didn't get the IPA. I always got the lager. And that was just a nice, in our campsite. Again, I was with Pork Belly Ventures. And I thank you for everything that you gave me out there. It truly was terrific. And the free beer, especially after you just set up your tent and you're tired from your bike ride and you get out of the shower, it was pretty nice to have that nice cold beer every afternoon. So I thank you for that. I like to ride early. I don't, some people really like having crowds around them. I'm not. I like to just be out there. Early in the morning, you get to see the great sunrises. In Iowa, you had some terrific sunrises. You had some terrific sunrises. And so I got to see all of that without a lot of people around me. That's just me. If you wanted to be out in the pack, then wait a little bit and go out later. But for me, I liked being out there. Now, a lot of the stuff wasn't available, but I could always get my pancakes. And I did enjoy the pancakes because that kind of got me through the day. And I think that's the other part, that when you're in Iowa, you should buy things there. They've opened up their state to you, and they have everything out there. Anything you need, they had it out there, whether it was food, snacks, the bike repair, everything was out there. So you really didn't need for anything when you're out on the road. And every probably 10 to 15 miles, there was always somebody with a town where you could go into. So I appreciated everything that you had out there. And so by me riding early, I was always ahead of everything. So like Mr. Pork Chop, the day I had it, it was at 10 o'clock in the morning. And you can see in some of the other videos, I was passing them at 7:30 in the morning. So I obviously wasn't going to get a pork chop then. But if you went out later, you could take advantage of all of those different things that they had out there. So my bicycle, I told you in one of the videos that it is an electric bike. It has a main battery, and then I had a secondary battery. Again, as a stroke survivor, I feel like I needed that to get me out of the house, to get me back on the road again. And this bike did not disappoint me. Whether I was going up the hills or into the headwinds, this bike really, really did a great job. And let me tell you, the hills on the last day, you pushed up these hills, and I thought I'd push them. I truly did. I thought I'd have to get off my bike and push. I didn't. I put it in the lowest gear and I pumped, because this bike only works if I pedal. If I don't pedal, nothing happens. So I felt like where this bike helped me was on the hills. And so I was able to make it up that hill, and then you go across the top, and then you dive down the other side, and then you climb back up another hill, and then you dive back down again. So that last day, those hills were tremendous, and I felt like my bike really helped me get through that. So I thank my little Trek bike for getting me through this ordeal. If you hear car sounds, I'm outside, obviously. So here comes a truck right now. So I might have to stop this and start it back up. So my last comments on this. Will I do Ragbrai again? I'm not sure. I need to take a little time after it. It was tremendous. I truly, truly enjoyed it. I truly did. I have a lot of bike rides in my head that I'd also like to try. Like earlier this year, I did the Gap in the C&O Canal, which was Pittsburgh to Washington, D.C. If you haven't seen that, please go back and look at those videos. It was a lot of fun. So then that gave me the encouragement to go ahead and try Ragbrai. So after Ragbrai, would I do Ragbrai again? I'm not sure. This was the 52nd year of Ragbrai. And I've seen anybody from 19. There was somebody out there with 30. The biggest one I saw was 51. So of the 52, he had done 51 of them. And I got to tell you, he looked terrific. He looked really good out there. So will I do my second one? I'm not sure. You saw in one of the earlier tattoos, I had Virgin on my leg, because when it's your first Ragbrai, you get Virgin. So that's why I had that on my leg. I will never, excuse me, I would never say never. it was a lot of fun. So maybe I will do another one. We shall see. But for now, I truly, truly enjoyed my Ragbrai experience. And I hope you enjoyed it too. So if you haven't seen them, the other episodes are in my box here. And if you haven't subscribed, please do, because you're going to start seeing me do a lot more with my Solus Pocket. I will have my bike with me. We'll do bike rides. Again, I have a few planned. I won't tell you what they are now, but they're pretty big ones that I have planned. Um, and I'm going to do it in my RV because I truly did enjoy taking this on this Ragbrai experience. And it gave me the confidence to be able to go out and enjoy traveling across the country in my little RV or van, if that's what you want to call it. So again, subscribe to my channel and come along with me on the ride. I think we will enjoy it. Thank you all for watching.